What's up, everybody? We're going to talk about Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, the fight last night with Clarissa Shields, and more with my special guest when I come right back. Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean. And today we're going to jump into boxing, and I got a special guest today. I want to introduce my cousin, my bloodline cousin, Mel.
What's that? I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here, man. Appreciate you bringing me out.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So just for those who don't know you like I do, where you from, Mel?
I'm from the zone, man. From the zone, man. It's pretty much all I know. 5 years old, my mom, she put us on a bus. We used to go to my grandma's house out in the hood, Lincoln Heights, and she was taking care of her, and we was bouncing back and forth from the zone to Avondale, and then 5 years old, we packed up everything, we moved there, and that was all I know from there.
That's what's up, yeah. That's what's up. So for those around the world or just in America, you might not have heard of Lincoln Heights, a very small community just north of downtown Cincinnati. So Google it and look at the history. The Isley brothers, Nicky Giovanni, and some amazing NFL players and, stars, baseball, all kind of stuff. Very, very good history. Rich history for those right here in Cincinnati. They may not know as well. All right, so we're going to jump into this boxing, and we're going to talk about, let's talk about AB, Adrian Broner, from the West Side stand-up, Cincinnati, English Woods, E-Dub. So what do you feel that he may do, like, as far as his career next move, like, since that's somebody you know personally?
I think AB, four-weight division champion, he's probably one of the most talented guys that we've seen from the city, Cincinnati, let alone the world, man. He accomplished a lot, from the time that, we all caught on to him, up until, now. He's been a great fighter. And I just think that, he's got through a bunch of trials and tribulations, being at the age he's at now. I do think he may have a small window still open, but we know that unless AB's letting his hands go, we really ain't got a whole lot to look forward to, man. I just think that he's at a point where he should probably consider retirement, or if he's willing to step up and let them hands go, I'm always willing to see what AB can do.
For sure, Dezo, for sure. So much respect and shout out to AB.
Shout out AB.
Hopefully in the future you'll end up on this podcast as well, brother. Just talk about whatever you want and just kind of open up from the beginning to where you are now type of situation. And shout out to every boxer that ever came from Cincinnati, that just came and got out the mud, to try to be great in life, in a very dangerous, rough sport, you know what I'm saying? Like people say, you don't play boxing, definitely ain't no joke, And shout out to my homeboy in Zone 15, Big Kiki, and doing his thing with the youth from Lincoln Heights and got them in the gym and things of that nature. I hope to have you on the podcast in the future too, bro. All right, so let's talk about the homeboy of AB, Tank Davis out of Baltimore. What do you think would be his next step, and what do you think about his last fight?
Well, I think Tank's next step is unlimited. I feel like, he can go any direction he want to go. Similar to, Floyd's path, how he is the king and he's the side, and, who's right for him at that point in time. Tank's he's a straight beast, man. Tank, you get in front of him, he's gonna walk you down. He's gonna pick you apart, and then he's gonna destroy you. Tank. That's what he's about. So, I think from what we've seen in Tank's last fight, I feel like that was again another great display of just talent, what he can do to you, how he can break you down. I think Tank is, he's the next greatest exciting fighter that we've had since Floyd. Not to take anything away from Bud, I think he's also right there. But Tank, like I said before, I'm looking forward to his next fight, his next opponent. And again, I think he's gonna display his greatness again, man. I think that, if you're not on your A game, let alone A plus, Tank is gonna take you out, man. I'm looking forward to what he can do for what I can see next from him.
Definitely, man. And just like to kind of piggyback off that, cause it's like with Tank, I think it's this big misconception with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like a good name like Tank, because obviously he hits like a tank as well.
Right.
Southpaw, lead hand, right hand, whatever. But it's like, I think the biggest misconception with Tank is because the end result always is in a knockout, besides Pitbull Cruz, who went the decision with.
Yeah.
It's like people hold him to the standard of almost like he's like a Deontay Wilder, just like a one-trick pony who he lands that right, which would be his left, vice versa, because Tank's right hand is his left. But I'm saying, you were so used to seeing Wilder line up his guy, get that right off, and if he hit him, boom, they fall. You didn't expect for him to get up with Deontay Wilder.
Right.
With Tank, yeah, you see those highlight reels of Santa Cruz and Frank Martin and all these people. But it's like people look at him like he's just a power puncher only. They don't give him credit for his footwork, his angles, his lateral foot movement, how he maneuvers around the ring, how he sets up trap. Prime example, the Rolly Romero fight. He wasn't on his front foot all the time. He pick and chose. But then when Rolly, he started seeing Rolly being overzealous and trying to come at him and charge him. Remember when he went back and you stuck his arm out there and Rolly knocked himself out, ran into Tank's fist. People don't give him credit on his defensive prowess and everything else, man. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think you hit it right on the nose, man. I think that there is a misconception. I think Tank is a very, very smart fighter. Again, he kind of reminds me of Floyd in that sense, to where, he's constantly testing you. He wants to see how you're going to take that power. You know what I'm saying? He wants to see, how long you're going to be able to move backwards. You know what I'm saying? Because he's calculating, and he's knowing, okay, well, he's done. I got him right where I want him. So I think Tank is one of the smartest fighters we have. I think that Tank knows, how much you have, in the tank before Tank delivered. Again, man, like I said, I believe you hit it right on the nose where you say, there's a big misconception. And I think, again, Tank's going to continue to show us what he's about. And I think he has a lot left in the tank, man. So shout out to Tank, man.
Shout out Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, man, in fact, I was on YouTube and I was came across a documentary about Tank, so I'm gonna check that out at some point. So if you're a Tank fan, he has a documentary out there on YouTube. It's like an hour long. So when you ain't doing nothing, just check it out. It's gonna talk about his life story and everything. Because like I said, I just feel like he don't get the credit he deserves, and people are like, oh, all he can do is knock you out, and he has no other. It's like, no, he's so much more than that. He's very, very much a boxing brain. And if you look at the Pitbull fight, you see him doing more boxing than you have in most of his fights. You know, he just like, and he was injured with one of his hands was kind of.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And still won. So that says a lot. When you're handicapped and you still can win a fight, you gotta give dude his props. 28 knockout. You know, shout outs to Tank Davis again. All right, so we covered AB, Tank Davis. Let's talk about out of Newark, Shakur Stevenson. What are his strengths and what are his weaknesses in your perspective?
Well, I think Shakur, again, he's another great young fighter. I think he has a long career ahead of him. And I think that he can be a star. I think it's just a matter of if he wants to be that star. You know, I think that Shakur, I think that if I had to, you know, point out a weakness that I see, I think it would have to be, you know, Shakur, what you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? I think that you know that you're greater than some of these guys that you go out and you box, but you hold back those punches, and we want to see more domination. You know, we want to see Shakur not wait on these guys. You know, take control. You know, make it a more exciting fight. You know, I think you're highly capable of doing that. Like we say, you know, when you're getting all this criticism, it's not because you know, people don't believe in you. It's more or less we do believe in you, and we ain't trying to see, you know, 10 or 12 rounds of boredom. You know what I'm saying? We want you to get in there and take care of business. And again, man, look, Floyd has made this thing where fighters don't want to get hit and they feel like they should never get hit. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, it's part of the game, man. You know, we want to see you stand in that ring like a gladiator, you know, come at these guys, and when you get them hurt, we want to see you end it, man. We want to see you take control and get them out the way, man. Because again, Shakur is a young, great fighter, and I believe he has a long career ahead of him, and I want to see more domination, man, for sure.
For sure. So, I mean, yeah, just like you were just saying, man, we want to see more of a dominating performance out of Shakur. But I also want to like interject a couple of different things to the viewers out here. He's very, very good. Just like Roy Jones said, he understands the ring IQ. He understands all that. Defensive. He got decent speed. Those combinations. So it's like when it does come to the part of he's winning every single round, it's like, and your own grandfather in your last fight, he's saying, step it up a notch, let your hands go a little more. I ain't saying go a buck wild and just get reckless or whatever, but you can take it up a gear, another notch, just a little bit more. I think you can do a little bit more, like getting your opponent hurt and then backing up off them. It's like, you know, most guys in that type of situation, they are finishers. And I just rewind it back in time, going back on YouTube, looking at old footage of Sugar Ray Robinson, who was a smaller guy. Adrian Broner, we just talked about him in his early to mid career. When he had you hurt, he was getting you up out of there. He wasn't like going to hurt you and then step back and like he's taking a snap at a picture of you. It's like he see that you hurt, he getting the threat up out the way pretty much. Because you know your opponent there. There's been situations where a person catches them what they call a quote unquote lucky punch. So who's to say that person that Shakur is fighting doesn't just land that one punch that knocked him out and he's winning every round? It's like, so why wouldn't you want to go ahead and get rid of that opponent? That way you're not going to have to deal with, you know, any chances of that happening, you know.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So shout out to Shakur Stevenson. And I know I've been seeing you on different podcasts saying how you want the smoke with Tank Davis. Tank Davis, I hope the feeling is mutual and that you guys get it on, because we're in a day and age right now where sometimes the best don't fight the best. People are still kind of salty that David Benavidez is not going to get to fight Canelo, because it seems like Canelo is always coming up with some type of argument or an excuse for why he doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. And I think David Benavidez is like, you know what? Forget all this. I relinquished my position as a mandatory at 168. I'm going to go up to light heavyweight 175, and I'm going to just try to take over this division, because he's tired of the games, I guess, that Canelo seems to be playing or whatever.
Well, again, I mean, I think Canelo is an older fighter. He's in control. Canelo can get whatever type of bag Canelo wants at this point. And I think that, you know, obviously Benavidez it's a risky fight for Canelo. And I don't think he's at the point in his career now where he's willing to take a whole bunch of risky fights. You know what I'm saying? And so I get that. Again, you know, we always want to see the best fight the best. But I also think that Canelo's earned his place where he's at in his career. You know, he's earned. He's had a lot of tough fights. To this day, Canelo is still a very tough fight, which is the reason why he can get that big bag and still get that big bag, and then, you know, cherry pick. You know, that's the name of the game right now, and I'm still excited to see Canelo getting that ring. So I'm looking forward to his next battle.
For sure. So shout outs to Canelo and shout outs to David Benavidez. I will be trying to tune into a lot of your fights here in the future in the 175-pound division. And last night also there was a fight in women's boxing, Clarissa Shields versus Vanessa Joannes. And I believe that was for the heavyweight division, 175 pounds in women's boxing. Did you get to see any of that at all?
I did get to catch some highlights. Again, Clarissa, probably one of the most dominating women boxers we've ever seen on the planet. She continues to seek and destroy her opponents every time she's in that ring. Big shout outs to Clarissa. The performance was amazing. You know, she got her girl down, and she continued to apply pressure, man. She can continue to apply pressure, and she's been that way since the very beginning. So shout out Clarissa. I'm looking forward to see what's in store for you next. Let's go.
For sure. Shout out Midwest, Michigan, Flint, and all the family up there in Detroit. Firestone family, Daniels up in Detroit, Michigan. Shout outs. So one more thing on Clarissa, it's like, now that I brought her up, she's that perfect example of what I like in a boxer that I say is kind of like, they mix it up. Like, she's a balance. So like, she shows she's defensively sound. She got good ring IQ, ring generalship, you know, her pivots, you know what I'm saying, everything, her angles. So she shows she can be defensive, and she doing that ducking. I mean, she got her, but she also knows when to destroy. Mm-hmm. I like people that have that button to where their corner can say, like they do with Tank all the time, get him up out the way. So we're going to go in there and they handle business. Because they might have just been boxing, racking up points or whatever, punishing that person. But then the corner might be like, okay, it's time to.
Right.
And I like people who have that there. And that's what I wanted to see in Shakur when I spoke about him earlier, is that if they tell you, Shakur, you know, say he happens to be behind on scorecards, and you need these last championship rounds with Shakur, try to get your man up out of there because you're slightly behind on the scorecards. Does he have it in him to do so? And that's the part I don't think we ever seen in Shakur. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think he absolutely, you know, has the, he has that that thing in him where he knows that he's capable of that. I just don't think he wants to take advantage of it, and he doesn't want to take advantage of it because he don't want to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we watch Pretty Boy get them hits, man. Get hit, take hits, and hit back. You know what I'm saying? And we got to see how tough he was and how he could stay in the ring and still do his thing, man. So, again, man, Shakur is highly capable of coming back and showing us more dominant performances. I think that all the backlash he has taken over the last month or so is something that he needs, something that should light a fire up under him, man. But there's only really one way to find out, man. Shakur, we want to see you step up. We want to see you take control, get high on these scorecards, and again, let's see some domination, Shakur.
For sure. So we had a nice episode here with me and Cuzzo. And I look for the future to have you on here again, man. So we're gonna do some shout outs to everybody. So would you like to shout out anybody?
Yeah, man. I just wanna again, man, shout out the whole Cincinnati area, man. Shout out to AB from the west side, man. Shout out to everybody that's been holding it down, man. Hey, I love good fights, man. I see a great future for Cincinnati in general, one of the greatest boxing cities in the world. Keep it up, man. Shout out Nuke, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see what you're doing. Take control of that boxing gym. Keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah, for sure. So as always, I need y'all to hit the bell notification, the thumbs up, to like and subscribe on this channel here and spread the word. And I'll catch you on the next round. Peace.